Hello, this is Mario Farina. Today I'll be reading some puns from this book, A Little Light Reading. This was published in 1999. These are original puns. I feel it's not fair to tell puns that other people have written. That's cheating, I think. This is called Turning into a Fly. We all know that Dr. Jekyll would drink a potion and instantly become Mr. Hyde. There were other experiments. He began drinking insect repellent and found that this would turn him into a fly. The next day he would become human again. He did this every night. The people in the neighborhood got used to what was going on and referred to him as the man who was a respected doctor by day and a fly by night. The next pun is Moby Dick. The great whale, Moby Dick, was having trouble with his stomach. He went to the whale doctor. The doctor told him that he needed additional roughage in his diet and ordered him to swallow ocean liners as a supplement to his usual diet of fish. The doctor's advice worked. Moby thrived on a diet of fish and chips. Three beggars needed to make some money, so they went into the shoe business. One beggar tried to sell shoes, but he was no salesman, and he failed at this occupation. Another beggar tried to design shoes, but the designs were awful, and he too failed. The third beggar went into the shoe repair business, but did not succeed. All the beggars had failed. This should have been expected, for it is well known that beggars can't be choosers. Contented cows. Farmer Jones knew that the best milk comes from contented cows. Without fail, he would visit his cows every morning and tell them jokes. The jokes were very funny, and the cows would laugh and laugh. Because of this, they always gave excellent milk, rich and creamy. It was renowned as the best milk in the region. The news got around that Farmer Jones and his cows were giving such good milk, and they soon became known as the laughing stock of the community. This one has to be replaced. Contented cows. Farmer Jones knew that the best milk comes from contented cows. Without fail, he would visit his cows every morning and tell them jokes. The jokes were very funny, and the cows would laugh and laugh. Because of this, they always gave the excellent milk, rich and creamy. It was renowned as the best milk in the region. The news got around about Farmer Jones and his cows, and they soon became known as the laughing stock of the community. Making candy. Susan needed to make more money, so she decided to learn how to make candy. At first, nothing worked. Her bonbons bombed, her Fruit Loops drooped, and her peanut clusters were crushed. She was in despair, but she persisted, and at last she learned, and she made a mint. Being different. I went to a most unusual funeral recently. The service was magnificent. The flowers had been selected with perfection. The atmosphere was somber and dignified. However, when we all exited the church to continue on to the cemetery for the interment, I saw that the color of the funeral car was pink. Noticing my astonishment, the funeral director said, "Well, why not? The deceased was rich. He could have had anything he wanted, and he wanted a hearse of a different color." Killer bees. Have you heard? The killer bees have arrived in the United States. Bold? Are they bold? One was interviewed on television the other day. He certainly sounded vicious. "I'm a killer bee," he announced. "Got that? Read my lips. Killer. He paused. "And not only that," he added with a mischievous grin, "I'm also a spelling bee." Falsely accused. The police came to Jake's house and said, "We understand you stole Bill's hairpiece." You were overheard admitting it. Jake vigorously denied the charge. Then he began to laugh. "What's so funny?" asked one of the cops. "Do you think this is amusing?" "Oh no," he responded. "It's all a big mistake. I never said I took his hairpiece. All I said was I was short of money and had bills to pay." In the courtroom, two fleas were in the courtroom disputing who owned a tiny tidbit that one of them had found. It was getting close to the time when the judge was about to enter the room. Because of this, they had to come to a quick resolution of their disagreement. And they did so just as the judge came in. Readers will recognize the episode as an example of flea bargaining. Talking dogs. My friend claimed that he had dogs who talked in their sleep. I went to see. In front of the fireplace lay a hound fast asleep. I listened while the dog mumbled things like, "I'm the King of England," or "I wrote a math book." I was impressed, but I said to my friend, "Your dog lies. He isn't a king. He has not written a book." "Yes, he lies," he admitted. "That's okay. When you have talking dogs, you have to make allowances. I know that it's best to let sleeping dogs lie." Visitors from Mars. 4 creatures from Mars arrived on Earth and met a pedestrian. "On Mars, I'm a house painter," said the first Martian. "Take me to your ladder." "On Mars, I am a barber," said the second Martian. "Take me to your ladder." "On Mars, I'm a shoemaker," said the third Martian. "Take me to your leather." The last Martian spoke. On Mars, I'm from the Bureau of Weights and Measurements. Take me to your liter." Specialty of the house. The specialty of the Pelican restaurant was bird food. No, not the kind that is fed to birds. This food was for humans. I was fascinated by the different kinds of bird dishes. There were chicken, squab, Cornish hen, pheasant, and many more delicacies. I ate and ate. Finally, I had eaten all I could. Won't you have just a little more? The server asked. Oh no, I replied. It was all so good, and I'm stuffed. Really, I couldn't take so much as another swallow. The coffee plantation. When I'm in South America, I enjoy visiting my friend Pedro Gonzalez. He owns a superb coffee plantation. Whenever I visit Pedro, he loves to take me across his coffee grounds. Transportation for nuns. The nuns complained to their priest that they were always tired since they had to walk such long distances. They wanted a means of transportation. The priest couldn't do anything, so they went to the bishop, who went to the cardinal, who went to the pope, who said that he would pray for a solution. Soon after this, he sent a message to the nuns saying that they should pick up some pears from the ground, hollow them out, and leave them in the garage overnight. They did this. The next day, the nuns found that the hollowed out fruit had been transformed into lovely vehicles. And from that day, the nuns have always traveled in pairs. The boxer. The boxer. When young, I trained to be a boxer. I became very good. I became very good at it. Nobody could beat me. Other boxers, thinking they might be better than I, would challenge me to contests, but they always changed their minds when they saw me box. One day, Mr. Graham, the owner of Price Chopper, told me that I had been boxing long enough. He said that effective the next day, he was promoting me to the cash register. That's all the puns for today. Thank you for looking. Thank you for listening.